I can't get much lighter, man.
My channel trailer for Twitch is literally nothing but Overwatch clips so far.
Jesus.
Oh, Hugger, can we get the? Oh, you already did it. Thank you. Can everyone track the stream, please?
I mean, that's $1.
Whoa. I
That's $1.
I already paid you 65 cents this month.
Wow. For 10 cents a day.
Massive.
For 10 cents a day, I could make an appearance.
Got it.
Man, that's a whole budget right there.
So I definitely got to figure out what happened with the music after this podcast. So I'll figure out why I didn't play.
Is it muted?
No.
So who's playing Flight Simulator?
Boom!
My
Right
friend
here.
came.
Well, let's hold on. We ain't got to the topics yet. We pre-gaming it. I'm gonna let this timer run down. I'm not breaking tradition.
Oh, me and Dallas were pre-gaming it earlier.
Whoa.
No.
I knew you was gone.
Yeah, I just need to just learn how to float like Sigma, bro.
Because you like the toes.
The toes,
one with the universe.
the toes add on. But he ain't got no toes out in this Maestro outfit, bro.
Thank God.
Why are you so focused on his toes, both of you? Why?
Because you can't
it's
avoid
very
them, bro. It's
prominent.
gross when it's out
It's
there.
very, in the Ice King outfit, it's very prominent.
Oh, I've never looked at his toes before. I was like, what the hell's wrong
When I
with
play
y'all?
on my PlayStation friends with Overwatch, they're like, "Come on, feet."
Look at them toes, boy. Sigma got OnlyPans.
Oh God.
That's never dying.
Oh God.
We should make a
please.
level 1 OnlyPans t-shirt.
Oh
Wow.
God, please.
Yeah,
Please.
Yes.
that should happen.
Please.
Yep.
It's either that or Pubix Cube.
I need
Nope. Nope.
I need,
Nope. Nope.
I need new friends. Delilah, do you have a podcast? Or maybe I'll come.
Yeah, do Grown Women Gaming on Saturdays.
Cause we know he a grown woman.
Well, I was just about to say, you gotta be a grown woman.
Best
Hey, that
podcast to
don't
watch
mean
on
that,
Saturdays.
don't have, we can have guys on there. Like, what do you mean?
I put the man in one man. Okay.
Oh,
I'll have you know.
He does. That was fun when I did that. Y'all are... It's interesting to go across all different podcasts and see the knowledge of everybody and how they interact. You guys, you listen to each other. You guys are smart. We don't listen to each other, but we're kind of smart.
No, it's just
You use the
we've been
term "we"
together
loosely. You
for
got a mouse in
long
your pocket
time,
or something?
and
Come on.
we're all pretty close though. Like we're all pretty legit close.
We just do whatever until Hugger yells at us, and then we kind of. And she's like,
You're not wrong.
Only order that exists in this place.
"Yeah, if it wasn't for her, we'd be all over the place."
We got Demi
And-
talking about Glicks all the time.
This is why.
Dallas doesn't say anything for like 20 minutes, and then you just hear him start giggling, and then an inappropriate meme shows up, and then we forget Meek's here half the time.
Y'all have a topic list.
You're not wrong.
Or like,
We usually keep the topic list in the header, so you should be able to see it in that link she shared out, and then
That's all right.
we sort of wing it in a way.
Our
Yeah.
topic list is very loosely followed. We just kind of
like y'all wing it.
we
just kinda
start
go
and then
in.
we just get derailed.
And then Hugger gets
Or we'll
mad,
speak too long on one topic,
and then we have to go back to the
then it'll get
topic.
funny.
I'm telling you, without the face of level 1, we are nothing. 30-second countdown. Without the face of level 1, we are nothing. You are the face of level 1 gaming. I'm sorry. It is what it is, love.
I mean, if we nothing
Oh,
else, we funny
Canada.
unintentionally,
Our
but
home
we funny
and
sometimes.
native land. True patriot love. No.
So there are more words?
There's...
I literally
can
thought
see
that was
it.
7,
Like,
6,
Like, repeat it over
5,
and
4, 3, 2,
Those.
1. What's going on, people? Fame Entertainment here from level1gaming.com. That's lv1gaming.com. And congratulations, you guys leveled up to 116. This is the Double XP Podcast. We have a guest with us today from the Grown Woman Podcast. I'm going to introduce her in a few moments, kind of get to know her a little bit before we get into these gaming topics. But first, we're going to start with the man to my right, the man with the clamps, Citizen Snips.
What's going on, everybody? Excited to be here for another week. If it wasn't for my joy of being on this podcast every Wednesday, I'd probably be like dead asleep right now because I'm exhausted. But we've got a really cool guest with us, and we got some topics to get into, so it should be an interesting show. So I'm looking forward to it, man. It should be fun.
Next up, my right hand man, the floor hugger with the hard R.
Sometimes I just want to strangle you. What's up, y'all?
Your hands ain't big enough.
Right. Yet. I'll get you later. Get you in that hairline later.
Oh.
We're back for another week of shenanigans. Make sure you guys are active in the chat. We always like to see what you guys have to say. And let's just get into it.
Just for the hairline joke, I'm going to post a picture of you smiling on Twitter today. Next up, DALLAZ. Man.
What's happening, y'all? I feel like we wasn't here last week, even though we was here last week. It always feel like a long time when we mess around. But I'm ready for this nonsense because I know that's all we have to offer this world.
Half man, half God. Demi God Reviews.
The lightning shall bear with me. What's going on, everybody? Shout out to the guests. How you doing, Delilah? Hope you're doing well.
I'm good.
That's good to hear. That's good. I'm here to talk about games. I'm here to talk about glizzies, and I'm here to talk about greatness. That is Ghost of Tsushima.
We talking about who's glizzies? Oh no, Bucko.
If you don't stop.
Oh,
The
no.
Glixtendo. Man. Last but not least, we're not talking standard definition. We talking high definition from the Grown Woman Podcast, the Lala HD. What's going on, love?
What's up? Fun fact though, HD does not stand for high definition. But
Really? I've always thought that.
A lot of people do. It's actually my name, like my last name began with a D. You know what I'm saying? H is
Hot
my
damn.
favorite.
And she,
Yeah,
you should let me roll with it. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna let him believe that.
Other people have it on, you know, everybody's like a high definition or UHD or whatever. So, yeah, man. But I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me on. I love the show. I've tuned in a couple of times. We've had Hugger on our show before, and just glad to be here.
Now, before we get started, we'd like to talk to our guests and kind of get to know them a little bit. So, if you could kind of bless us with a little bit about who you are, how you really got into gaming, being inside of gaming social media. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and your podcast.
Oh yeah, sure. About myself. Well, I am a designer for Microsoft.
Woo woo.
I've been playing games since I was 4 or 5 years old. So I've been at it for my whole life pretty much. And so how I got into it, I feel like it's just a part of me. I breathe it, and so I've always wanted to do something related with my career, and that's what I focused on. And it just kind of made it my goal. And yeah.
So how long you been working for Microsoft?
It's been a year and a half now.
All right, that's what I remember. Because I know for a while you were on Tick Podcast as well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was the thing. That was part of the reason why I had to leave. I had to. Let's just say Microsoft has some guidelines you have to follow, and Tick broke all the rules. So yeah, that's why I asked the question when I was first coming on here. I was like, am I gonna get in trouble for posting memes on this podcast? I have to be extremely careful. But yeah, now I got it down to a science. I know how to say things, what to say, and stuff like that. When I was doing Tick, I was pretty new, and so I had to really be careful. But now I kind of got it down.
You got it down, Pat.
I got it down.
She's an expert.
Prior to joining Microsoft, I had ran my own series of gaming websites, done a bunch of social media based giveaways and things like that, just keeping it gaming related. Also did a lot of the Reddit community based pages like Recore. Let's see what else. Crackdown 3, Killer Instinct, a bunch of community-based things surrounding gaming. So I've always been a part of it, media-based type stuff. Yeah.
That's what's up. So how'd you go about coming into grown woman gaming? How did that? I know we talked to Lady Infamous a little bit, but I kind of want to get your side. How did you come apart to be part of grown woman gaming?
So, prior to joining Grown Woman Gaming, like I said, I had already done some things in the community, and I had came across Lady. She was doing like a vlog of or something or whatever, and she just had me cracking up and laughing. And I commented on her YouTube channel. I was like, yo, you have I like your energy. Like you remind me of home. Like something very special about it. And she was like, well, I do Grown Women Gaming, and I really want to start a podcast, but my first reaction was like, nah, I'm not with it. Like I don't, I really didn't want to do a podcast at the time. I was just coming off doing my own websites and stuff like that, and I just didn't know if that was something I wanted to jump back into. So I asked her, like, was she serious? Like, if you're gonna do a podcast, it takes a lot of commitment, it takes a lot of time, and consistency is key when you're doing a podcast. And so I told her, it's like, if you're not gonna be consistent, if you're not gonna be serious about doing one, don't do it at all. And she's like, well, only one thing I can do is show you. And so me and her, we, instead of just like starting our own thing, we teamed up with GRG, K Mega's channel, and was podcasting with them for a while, just to feel things out and be certain of like that's something that we want to do. And then when we knew for sure that we was going to branch off and do our own thing with GWG, like I knew that she had already was in contact with El Boogie, and I mentioned my friend Sharice, which is actually in the chat right now. And I was like, yo, Sharice, she plays more than I do, because at the time, like, my hours and stuff was pretty split. I couldn't dedicate too much time to gaming, so I knew Sharice was always about it. Like, even when I was running my websites, she was the one doing all my articles and helping with reviews and talking about games, like, always. So I was like, man, let's get Sharice in here, and it was just a perfect match. Everybody kind of personalities meshed and blend in. We met up at E3, and kind of the rest is pretty much history.
That's dope. So are you guys start doing the website thing, or just purely the podcast?
Okay, so with the website thing, I actually sunsetted because I had some issues with the name of my website. Used to be called On the Xbox, and
on the Xbox.
On the Xbox,
on the
yeah.
Xbox.
And I had some issues with PR back in the day. They didn't want me. This just says a whole bunch of political stuff that goes along with that. They didn't want me to have Xbox in my name, so I had ended up changing my name from being On the Xbox to G3NX.com, which stands for Generation Xbox. Gen.
Okay, yeah.
And let's just say somehow I got like flagged. And,
oh wow.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff happened. I had to pull that down, and so I just was like, bump it. At that time, support started dwindling, so I told Sharice and I told a bunch of the people that was running the website at the time. I was like, look, man, we shutting it down. I'm just not gonna do it anymore. My time is split. I'm moving. This is at the time I was moving to Atlanta, and it was just like a lot going on, and I just couldn't afford the time, effort into it, I just couldn't do it anymore. I'm pretty sure you all can relate because you run your own website.
Yeah, yeah. We've only done live for 2 months, and Hugger has to keep and even Kevin earlier. Kevin was like, "Fane, calm down. Like it's gonna be okay." It's constant. Like,
woo. I had to remind him today. I was like, we weren't even supposed to launch our site until like September.
Yeah, we launched really early.
Man, so that's a lot of work, like, because you have to get articles, your content got to be fresh, and it's got to stand out from everybody else, and you're competing with, like, the bigger sites, like the IG. It's not like it was, like it is now, like, everybody got YouTube channels.
Yeah.
This is back in the day, like, you know what I mean, where they were really, YouTube was just popping off, you had, like, everybody was still going to individual websites to get content, so if you had an exclusive interview, you was popping, and I was able to, because I had like connections with the PR, I was able to get interviews and all kind of stuff, so it was lit around there. But I knew it was a lot of work, and I knew that I didn't have a big enough team in order to get it all done, and so I had to shut it all down. It was a sad day, and I pretty much retired after that. I was like, I'm no longer doing any more gaming media, I'm no longer talking about games, and so I started focusing more so on my career. This is what I want to do with that.
That's what's up. And I don't want. I know. Of course, we have some Xbox topics tonight. So, is there anything you can't dive into because we don't want anything? We don't want to do anything that will get you in trouble or compromise you. Just be like, hey, I can't. I'm gonna stay off on this topic. If that's, I don't want to do.
Now, like I said before, like I got it down now. I know how to.
She an expert, boys.
Because
shout out to the grown women in the chat, Sharice and El Boogie.
They are in the building. Okay?
And we got Rain and his twin
We're
brother,
have you two
Rain.
on next. I hope you're ready for that. I'm talking to the grown women right now. Rain he's another entity.
He's
grown women.
I'm just saying, Rain and his twin brother is in here again.
Yeah, Rain, his twin brother from Twitch and YouTube. What's up, twin Rains?
So shout out to Grown Women Gaming though. Sharice, it's myself, Sharice, El Boogie, and Lady Infamous. Every Saturday noon Eastern and 9 Pacific.
Seriously, go watch them. I was on. They are some of the most knowledgeable, not spitting bullshit women that know what they're talking about with gaming. Not sitting there begging for your money.
Now let one of us cuss on podcasts and we in trouble.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let one of us cuss.
I told Dallas, we can say bullshit now. We can't say the big ones, though.
Wow.
We know which ones I can't say?
No, not right now.
I think she really just said that to save me a bunch of time in editing videos because I say that shit a lot.
Yeah. Boy, I'm not uploading this.
So, we got a few topics to talk about. We got a few things to talk about. And a couple things I want to get your guys' opinion on. Fame. You okay?
Yeah.
He over there doing the shoulder shuffle. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Just a little shimmy shake, that's all.
I'm awake now. Remember before the podcast, I was like,
yeah, you was
not doing. I'm awake now.
What's up, Kev? So there was a lot of stuff that happened in the last week since the last podcast. The big one that I think the one me and Fame covered both the Ubisoft and the Devolver Digital show, but I think we gotta agree that the Devolver Digital show was way better than the Ubisoft show.
It wasn't even close.
The Ubisoft show has another counterpart coming later this year. So, do we give them a pass? But let's get our thoughts on. Let's start with the Devolver Digital show. What do you guys think about that?
What the Devolver Digital, man? It's if you're looking to be, how do I say this? They might not show games that you are necessarily interested in, but they're going to entertain you while showing you games you may not necessarily be interested in, right? The show was, it was super entertaining. You couldn't help but to laugh, which kind of, I said, hey, maybe I didn't care before about what Devolver Digital's putting out, but they entertained me. Let me go check this game out, right? So I think it was dope. They had Shu in there. They had Phil in there. Sonic Fox. They had people come out. It was a star-studded show. And they kept you entertained, man, and they showed some pretty dope stuff too. I know Hug was flipping out when they announced Carrion, and the fact that it's coming to Game Pass day one.
That's so good.
That was super dope. I think Devolver Digital knocked out the park. I still didn't play Devolver Land. I have it downloaded. I didn't play it yet, but I thought that was super dope how they got a game to market other games. That's super dope. So. They definitely get a 10 out of 10, even if they didn't show, even if, Serious Sam looked mid.
That's a PS2 game.
Even though Serious Sam looked mid, I still give them.
But it's Serious Sam.
It's not supposed to be.
It's Serious Sam.
Yeah, but it could look better than
it looks
what I
dated
20 years ago.
It looks dated. I know some games
I
are
don't know.
supposed
You
to
gotta
have
give it to
dated
Devolver.
feel. I give them a solid 8 or 9.
I can't. What is it? Carrion or Carry On?
Carrion, whatever it is.
Carrion.
Serious Sam
like my
is a
cousin
great
is, but-
series, but Serious Sam, I'm not knocking Devolver for showing Serious Sam. Serious Sam is its own. That Serious Sam 4 has been a problem for a long time because the last game came out in 2011, so that's a whole different. Devolver's show was good because that what was it? Shadow Warrior 3 gameplay was really good.
It was, and I'm down for it.
Or trailer.
Like
gameplay.
Yeah, I thought Shadow
Like
Still,
first-
it gets you interested in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, Devolver does dope stuff. They did Fame's favorite penis game.
Whoa,
Jungle Joust.
that is Hugger's game. Calm down.
They did that.
We all know that's not mine.
Y'all make fun of me about this, like y'all make fun of Fame about Dauntless, but Absolver is underrated. I would die on that hill. You can fight me in Absolver, but it's way underrated. And I don't know, they do some interesting stuff, like gameception thing that they got going on with Devolver Land is that's a dope concept in and of itself.
True. What do you think, Delilah?
I thought the show was decent. I mean, I don't know. Carry On looked cool. I mean, because it's 2D game, you playing as the monster, so I thought that was kind of dope. Serious Sam, I kind of agree with Fame on this one. It is, I mean, but it's Serious Sam, so it's satire. Like, you really can't. It's hard to take it serious, and like when you think about graphic fidelity. If you play like we was talking before the show, and you said like he played Minecraft Dungeons, so it's like, how you gonna compare graphics? Whatever. That's another conversation.
Ooh,
that was another conversation. But yeah, I thought it was a decent show. I mean, they're known for being weird, and I think I appreciate them for just being different, because if everything was the same, it would be more fast, it would be more quick. So I like what they showed though. I'm definitely hyped about was it? Oh, darn, Shadow Warrior though, because I love
Shadow Warrior look legit.
Yeah,
so
yes.
good.
And not being different gets you the EA show.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, that's a whole.
That was
thing.
that was an interesting show. So after
I just
that show,
appreciate that people can do that. Like, you can, as much as people like roast Death Stranding, if nobody tried nothing new, nobody would try nothing new. Like, somebody got to walk out on that limb.
Yep.
Death Stranding. Wait, so that's the game when you carrying the packages?
The UPS simulator.
the UPS guy.
Hey, and a baby.
And a baby.
A very special
that's
baby.
true.
Like, why does this grown man have his baby? But that's another
Very
story.
special baby. His name is Roland. He's a very special baby.
Yeah, but those graphics though, right?
Wait, is the baby's name?
Yes. No, I'm just.
Death Stranding's on PC now, so.
That's true.
Play with my
Might
Elite
actually
controller.
play it.
Demi, what you think, man? Devolver
Demi,
Digital.
Kev, what did you think?
Oh.
One of you.
Jamie, you can go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh. We both being polite now. This is,
This is rare. Okay.
Okay, I guess I'll go. So kind of like, I mean, I'm with y'all. Nothing blew me away, but I wasn't like disappointed either. Then again, I always come into everything with like no expectations. So if you disappoint me, you really got to be messing stuff up pretty dang bad. Serious Sam 4 looked like a game that was started a long time ago, and then the project got scrapped for whatever reason, and then when they're like, bro, let's revive this and finally make it happen, they're like, we're not going to start all the way over. Let's use what we got and build off of that and just get the game out and make it work. And so it's not visually impressive, but it looks like it could be a lot of fun.
Did they announce a release date for that though?
Was it?
Did they announce a release date for Serious Sam?
I don't
know.
Or I think they said August 2020, so no firm date. I'm reading through the article right now.
Okay.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I just got whiffs of Duke Nukem with it. Duke Nukem
But I mean,
forever.
it looks like it still could be fun. So, like, I'm as much as I like a visually impressive game, it's not everything. Not every game needs to be like max world-breaking realism, incredibleness. So that's cool. It looks like it still could be a fun game to fart around in. Shadow Warriors 3 looks pretty cool. It was Fame. You might be able to help me, or Dallas. What was there was a game we tested at PAX that was kind of similar, like that same kind of parkour movement, sword slashing melee type game. Was it Ghost Runner?
Ghost Runner.
Ghost Runner. Yeah. So that really caught my eye, and so I like that kind of style game. So that looked pretty neat for this one. That looks like it could be cool to play too. And like Delilah was saying, Carrion kind of caught my attention just because it's neat to get that different perspective of, you know, playing the role of the monster, or I don't know how they're going to frame the story around it, if it's like some kind of evil creature or whatever the heck. But I thought that looks cool, and the mechanics for it look interesting and neat too. It's nice to try different things sometimes. So I think there could be. I don't think there's going to be any like genre-defining best game of the year candidate award-winning stuff coming out of this from what they showed, but could be some fun games that are good for killing time. Which, at the end of the day, that's what video games are really all about. So.
That and one thing, if I got one thing from that show, is the fact that as much as Fame and Hugger try to keep my my more profane side in check, if they can do all that cussing, these videos finna get wild. Just wait on them.
No.
I'll take them down.
Oh, rules out the window. Apparently.
I mean, I'm just saying, like they got away with it and actually made it pretty dope.
Dallas, just know
Yeah,
if
they
you
got
ever,
$1 million budget. We don't.
If you ever call me a lint licker, I'm coming for you, bro. I'm gonna
Quit
find
being a
third
doodle head
hand to
cootie
throw.
queen.
Hey,
Listen
you
here,
stop.
bro. No.
Wow.
Demiculous, what was your thoughts on
Yes,
the
yes,
Devolver
yes.
show?
Serious Sam looks dated and old in comparison to what I've played recently. So I'm not looking forward to that. Especially now with Doom being out, I'm spoiled.
Oh,
He's
did
at
we
work,
lose
y'all,
Demi?
so you can pop in and out. I think I want to say this before Demi comes back. I think we need studios or companies like Devolver, Raw Fury, Focus. They're not the big AAA titles, especially Focus, is those kind of like low budget or AA kind of games that are still good. Like Focus was the one that put out Vampire, and Vampire is an amazing game if you like that kind of combat and stuff. I think we need these kind of like middle of the road guys to kind of kick the EAs of the world in the teeth and show them, hey, you don't need these $1 million budgets, giving your CEOs way too much money to get things done in the gaming world.
Focus Home Interactive, right? You said Focus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Focus Home.
And they did a Plague Tale Innocence. So
Oh yeah, great.
And Greedfall.
mm-hmm. I got my differences about Greedfall halfway through. Loved it, but I got.
But we need companies like that.
We do. I completely agree. But going back to it, Serious Sam looks dated and old, and I'm spoiled because I played Doom, and I know as much as I want to enjoy Serious Sam, it's giving me Duke Nukem Forever vibes, and I just can't rock with it. Carrion looks great. I'm probably gonna buy that more than likely. And
It's day one Game Pass.
Passed.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
oh,
sir.
Look
Yes,
at
sir.
look at God.
It's lit.
And the
Look at
one
God.
game I wanted to see, or continuing in that universe, I didn't see it. I wanted more of Ruiner and the story in that, more story around that.
Yes.
So it was cool. I wasn't like blown away, but Shadow Warrior looks cool. So solid. I haven't really
If
been blown
y'all
away by
haven't
anything
played
yet.
Ruiner though,
Yes,
you missing out.
yes. Do yourselves a favor. Go love yourself. Go love thyself.
Yeah,
Fame.
Ruiner's nice.
Stop. Get some help.
Haven't done anything.
When I get
I mean, is it?
and I can get some extra money, I'm definitely ordering that Ruiner jacket because that joint is nice.
Wait, let me see.
Ruiner,
This.
if you guys are like itching for some Cyberpunk, but you know Cyberpunk isn't out yet, go play Ruiner. Honestly,
I'm looking at
the music is fire.
Oh,
Like it's great.
In the year
You're supporting indie
2024.
devs. It's great.
that jacket is fire.
So, they did right. After that was the
Ubisoft
I have
forward.
his thoughts on this. Yeah, it was a middling show. It was a middling show, kind of minging, kind of popping at some points. Delilah, please, in your professional opinion, what did you think of the Ubisoft show? Ubisoft Forward.
Man, I really enjoyed Ubisoft Forward. Whether it was, I mean, Far Cry 6 did it for me.
Okay.
So that I like what I saw from Valhalla because I wasn't that big of a fan of Odyssey. I liked the shield combat from Origins, so I was happy to see that they had like some shield combat and
Yeah, you talked about
and
that when I was
Valhalla.
on the Go
Yeah,
Home.
man.
And,
That killed it for me. 'Cause, you know, I like the combination of blocking and attacking with your weapon. I also like the fact that in Valhalla they tried to add a little bit of the stealth mechanic. back into Assassin's Creed. That stood out to me.
Mhm.
But overall, I thought the show was good. I liked the pacing. I thought they did a great job of trying to keep you engaged and interested into what they were talking about on the show. Um, but as far as these digital shows, like the totality of it, I, I prefer like a week of everything, like E3, like an essential E3. This drip feed of content has been
Right.
a little bit daunting, and that's something I want to ask the panel. Was like, how do you all feel about this drip feed of content that each individual publisher is doing? Do you like the fact that it's spread out and every week you get something, or would you prefer to just have everything dumped in 1 week?
At the very least, it's a little easier to cover.
There you go. I like it.
There you go. In a sense, that is easier to cover for us because I remember how many E3s have we covered? 2 so far.
We're as a team.
3 years?
As a team, this particular team, 2 years.
Yeah, but see,
Okay.
you all are the exception to the rule, though, right? Like you're not. I mean,
We're
you're going to
not
the
there.
show as being media, right? Like you're not. You're not just consuming content. You're more so just trying to cover the show. You run around like like ants, trying to get like as much information as you possibly can and document as much as you can and get exclusives. So I understand that, but I'm talking about more so from a like consuming content type of perspective.
Me personally, I
consume at the same time.
I enjoy it this way. I think for these publishers and developers, it gives their games and what they did more time to shine. Because I mean, really think about it. At the end of the day, when it comes to E3, what is the only thing we end up talking about at the end of the day? What an Xbox and what PlayStation did, right? And we sort of gloss over Ubisoft and stuff like that. We gloss over them. We do, and it's just the nature of it. I think this actually gives them and what they're doing the time to shine. I don't think a lot of people, the mainstream of people, really dove into who like Devolver Digital was maybe until recently, right? And kind of see, the characters they are and the games they put out, I think strictly as a consumer, not as someone who runs a gaming media site, it's better just because, I can focus on, all right, this is Ubisoft. Just today I can consume this, really think about what I'm doing, really focus on that. All right, next week it's this. I focus on this instead of one big day or 2 days of just a whole bunch of information, and then I maybe forget the 3 or 4 gems that was shown that I just completely forgot about because it was all bunched together. And the only thing everybody's talking about is what Xbox and what PlayStation is doing. That's just me.
Yeah. With a normal E3, everything Devolver and studios like it did would just be like flashes in a sizzle reel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you feel like it just gives more shine to the smaller entities of the industry.
Same.
Okay.
And you messed up the boxes.
Well, I will say it feels like in this format, at least, the emphasis is more on the content and less on like the production. Like with the big shows like E3 and all that, they want to make everything look flashy. Like it's all about, how is he going to enter the stage, the lights, the smoke, and all that. All that's really superfluous. So I like that it's focusing more on the content, or having to focus on what they actually have to show you instead of how they're
You open
going
a dictionary
to show it.
today?
Wait, Charlotte. Wait, hold on. I'm Googling superfluous.
Busting out my
Like,
essay.
damn.
I like the flex on that one. That was
Look,
nice.
I'm
Is
sober
that the
for,
word
like, the
of the
first
day?
time in like 38
It is the
months.
word of the day.
Spell it.
Gotta be the word of the day.
But see, I'm torn because I obviously I prefer the format of E3, everything dumped in 1 week. I think it's fantastic because the world focuses on that. Like other media outlets like, okay, gaming is doing something this week, so your NBCs and CBSs they are forced to pay attention. Whereas now it's just like, okay, no one's paying attention to what they just showed like last week. Like what news outlet is saying, the gaming is doing something this week? No one, right? So for me, that narrative, let's just to keep it short. Like I prefer the one gigantic show. So
See, I'm
forgot where I was going with that, but
I'm
yeah.
2 minds. I'm 1 mind, like I want the E3 shows because I would love to meet, like, I don't know if the podcast knows, like, who's watching. I live in Canada. I live in Alberta, which is right over Montana, because I always have to tell people where I kind of am. So the closest show to me that I could get to within a reasonable budget is PAX in Seattle, West. Like, I would love to go to E3 and meet the team, hang out with you guys. Like, you guys know I want to go to Texas and study in Texas, but that's a different thing. So I think E3 would be that thing as a social gathering. See, I don't see E3 as a show, but like when we covered E3, sorry, Mike, when we covered E3 last year, we still had our fan moments where when they showed the Final Fantasy footage and they brought out Tifa, I was like, oh, whew, it's too hot in this room. Tifa's here now. So I don't know. I like the fact that we can cover these shows, and we would have never had the chance to cover the Devolver Digital show because it would have been in a weird time in between the big shows.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now we got to cover it.
Yeah.
I was like, I like that fact.
The running around part of E3 and trying to cover content is definitely difficult. I don't miss those days at all, period. Like, once you retire from doing it, like once you retire from doing it, it's like you just go and you enjoy the show. Like, you go to E3 and you enjoy that week of, you know, hanging out with friends, grabbing food, getting drinks, talking about games. It's a lovely time. When you're covering it, and you all go through this, because, I mean, you'll probably be doing this for a long time as far as doing your website and covering
hopefully.
And then it'll come to a point in life where you're like, okay, I just want to enjoy the show. Like,
yeah.
So we're gonna just gloss over Dallas with that glizzy?
Nope.
We're gonna just gloss over that?
Nope. No.
Wow.
That was actually
Demi probably died. I think Demi's dead. He
with the glizzy.
That sent him over. He's done.
Demi's done with us.
Hey, but while we're still talking Ubisoft Forward, that Far Cry 6 trailer was kind of nice. Like that.
We were watching that. We're like, is that actors or is that? It was.
We couldn't tell if it was real or not. I was like, I can't tell if this is actually him or not. First, I was like, no, that's really him. That's not CGI or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's like it was. And I think say his name, Dallas, because I'm gonna butcher it. I always butcher it.
I gotta look it up again. Hold on.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo
Esposito, yes. Dude is amazing, right? And the fact that he did that and then with the voiceover, I have never truly cared about Far Cry. He alone is like that's like if all of a sudden Morgan Freeman gonna come and voice over a game, y'all gonna get that because I'm like when Morgan Freeman was in South Park, I was already buying South Park, but Morgan Freeman is my guy, right? So I was like, yeah, I might have to get this. But you know what I'm telling y'all right now? I don't believe it's gonna release in February. That Joker is getting delayed.
What make you say that? What make you feel like it's not gonna release in February?
I don't know, man. With the way the world is right now, and the way they having to develop games, and we're in a state where the last couple of years we've had huge amounts of delays. I just feel like that's gonna be one of them. I feel it. I feel like it's too close.
Like
don't forget
Ubisoft
though,
is one of those special ones though. Like as far as a company, they're gigantic. Like I think
Ubisoft is facing a reckoning though. After Breakpoint, something happened and they got a whole bunch of games delayed. I think they're facing a reckoning, and then with this Me Too assault thing, I think something's gonna happen in the company.
I was talking about more so it's like I was talking
trickle
about
trickle down theory.
Yeah, I was thinking more so on like the fact that they have like 18,000 like employees. Like they're huge.
Yeah.
Like
You're not wrong.
is nothing to scoff at. They're able to put out a game, you know, AAA type titles, 2 and 3 titles a year of just.
But I think they know if it comes out like Breakpoint, people aren't gonna be happy because the microtransactions and just the downgrade of quality that Breakpoint was. People aren't gonna be happy if Legions is that, or I mean, you're on the same level with me with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm gonna get it. I don't care. I'm 13 years into this series. I don't care. Give it to me.
People had to backtrack their slander on Valhalla because people was riding off of that leaked that footage that was pre-alpha footage or whatever. People were clowning the game. Now you see it, you're like, oh, okay. So folks having to walk back that slander, which tell people you shouldn't judge a game too early, man. Especially when it tells you this is pre-alpha footage or whatever it says at the bottom.
Nobody walks back that slander, man. They just forget it ever happened and pretend they never did anything wrong.
Right.
That's how the internet works.
So
Nobody's
I can't
accountable
really say
for
it
anything.
as far as like Assassin's Creed because I'm not a huge fan of the old previous Assassin's Creed. I like the newer.
You like to swim.
I like to swim. Yes, I like to swim.
Yeah.
I like the reboot. Basically, is what I like refer to it as. And so Valhalla, yeah, like I'm feeling it. I'm digging the style, the mythology, like all of it. So
What do you think of there's no regenerating health, you have to go out into the world, like a survival system?
no, don't tell me. I didn't know that. I'm out.
Yeah.
That's it. It's over.
There's a survival system, you gotta fish, you gotta eat.
Yeah, that's how you get health back.
They gonna have to patch it easy mode. I'm
What was
sorry.
that like?
Well, Hugger would
Metal
never get
Gear
to
Solid
experience
Snake
combat.
Gear was like that.
See, this is why I
Shit,
felt
just
bad on
fish
the
the whole
Grown
time.
Woman Gaming podcast, because I brought some knowledge and it kind of destroyed some things, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I
felt
didn't.
bad.
I mean, I'd rather find out.
Survival
Like, this.
aspect. I did not know that was a huge.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
no,
that's not an
regenerating health.
optional thing. That's not
Others
optional.
getting ready,
It probably will be, because I think people are going to be outraged by it, but what they showed in the gameplay was it had, like, you had certain, like, a number of hearts container kind of thing, and you would fill them up before you got into a battle, because they showed some pretty cool battles. But
So
yeah, there's
basically,
no
it's a
regenerating health.
roguelike. It's a roguelike mixed
I
with.
think yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
But double shield combat is back, or shield
Double
combat.
shield. Double shield.
Shield.
You know the ladies are teasing me about the double shield, right?
I know. I
saw
saw.
that.
she
I
was
said
in
the
there,
same
she's like,
thing.
Shield.
Double shield.
Double
Yeah.
shield,
So,
that'd be me.
No, I just really missed the
Mhm.
shield combat from Odyssey. I thought it was a miss. You know, like how you gonna?
So you're not even mad that they're continuing that RPG kind of thing? Because
No.
I know a lot of
I
people
think
hate
about
that.
it. I didn't. I was never a huge fan of like. I like the first Assassin's Creed, the very first one, and a little bit of the second one. But I just after a while, I prefer the reboot. Like Bayekasi was like my guy, so
Oh, yeah.
I like the newer ones.
Yeah.
And then like, oh man, that game, the pyramids and being able to go through. I mean, oh man, it was just awesome. And so
But didn't it have the weirdest crossover with Final Fantasy 15? Like,
I don't know what that was about.
Oh
It
yeah,
did.
the Assassin's Festival.
Yeah.
That was a little strange.
Yeah.
I still
It's like
played
all
it because I
games you
want
can
the
partner
outfit.
with.
You know,
Right. You want the items, right? Like you want the little add-ons.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Hugger, we got a question in the chat. What you sipping on?
I'm sipping on some actual beer because you Americans don't know beer. It's a Canadian company, Molson. I'm sipping on their black ice. Good old beer. You know, gotta stay kind of gotta lose my mind with these people, y'all. I love them, but gotta lose my mind
She
with
gonna
them.
say you
Otherwise, I'd be like,
American.
oh
Shut
cool.
up.
So Bud Ice.
At least, yeah, that's Bud Ice. At least we can
this
say
is stronger than Bud
about.
Ice.
No,
This is
it's natty
6.1%.
Ice. It's natty ice. Okay,
No, that's Meek that drinks Natty Ice.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
That's so gross.
Anyway.
So I have a question.
What? Nani?
And Delilah, feel free to speak on this, you know. But Microsoft has announced their new game that's coming out, and they had told us that it's another PC exclusive. Flight Simulator is not coming to console.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Because it
Did we
don't
skip
belong
over like something huge from the Ubisoft Forward thing?
We'll go back. Don't worry. We'll go back.
Okay.
We'll go back. Thoughts on Microsoft? This is the third game they've released that isn't coming to their $500 box, even though everything that comes with the $500 box also goes to PC. Thoughts on this mindset from Microsoft? If you can't talk about that,
you go
Delilah.
first. If you can.
If you can, if not, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, put me on the spot with this one.
She's flipping through
Love you.
NDAs like
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Page
looking for pages right now. I'm making sure we can find print. No, as far as Flight Simulator, I mean, if you think about that game, it was always a game geared towards PC players. I mean,
Mhm.
it's for PC, and so with Microsoft targeting, you know, PC is where we're gonna focus. put our games, and also Xbox is gonna be where we're gonna focus our games, then I don't see a issue here. I mean, it's just a game. It's like as if you was to take a strategy game and you know it's built
Age
for
of
PC,
Empires
it's
and
not
put it
built
on
for-
console.
Right, like it's one of those things to where like it's just it's geared towards their target. Like Flight Simulator is a PC game. So.
Okay, but they built Gears Tactics and put it straight to
Gears
PC.
Tactics. Okay. So wait, pause, because Gears Tactics is coming to
different.
console. It's coming to console.
It's-
It's just
It's coming. I mean, I've read that as well. I think the problem a lot of people are having is like, why is it not there right now? Why didn't it release date and date? We're sure Halo Infinite will release date and date on both consoles. Gears 5 date and date. What's with the picking and choosing? It's kind of it gives here's my thing. It gives out a
Wait,
Hold
you want
on,
them to
let
hold
her
the game
talk, man.
hostage? You want them to hold the game hostage until they're
no.
ready to release?
Nope. That's not
Oh,
nope.
you
Here's
answered
what
the
I'm-
question.
What I'm saying is there's always been this notion of Microsoft where play anywhere. Where Xbox is PC is Xbox, Xbox is PC. This is where we're going with is play anywhere. When everyone plays, everyone wins, right? That's the concept we've been told. That's what we've been given. So if it releases on Xbox,
I'm explaining this to you real quick, okay? So
Ooh,
what I
hold on,
mentioned
boys.
what I mentioned to you first was that you want them to hold the game hostage until it's ready for console. You said no, okay? So they release the game when it's ready. If it's not ready for on console yet, then why release it? It's ready on PC. Release the game. Don't hold the game hostage.
do you feel if a game a la Halo Infinite wasn't ready for PC, that they would just release it on
Okay, but now
console?
you're
See, Halo.
They would delay it. They would delay it.
No.
But-
Listen, check this
now.
out.
Okay.
Halo Infinite is targeted towards console, just like Flight Simulator is targeted
Exactly.
towards PC. So I'm not gonna hold. It's just like this. Another example I'll give you that they just announced, because everything I'm mentioning on this podcast is public knowledge. First of all, just to put that disclaimer out there. So
She's
the
like,
fact that Halo
That's page
3,
320 of the NDA.
like Halo 3, for instance, they just released it on PC. Now they released it on PC because it's ready to be released on PC. Just like how they released all these games on PC that's ready to be released on PC. They're not holding these games hostage. I'm gonna hold the game for 6 months until it's ready for console. That makes no sense. Get your money while you got it. Why it's ready? Like if the game's ready, put it out. Like that to me, I feel like okay, so the Xbox version or whatever title just needs to be cooked on a little more. Basically, that's how I look at that. I'm not just because it's not releasing on console yet. You know, so that's really all I gotta say about that.
It's in.
I mean,
that makes sense to you though. Like,
Play
you're gonna-
anywhere when it's ready.
Here's
I
my
mean-
thing about that too,
Release
Payne,
something
and I
for
feel
it.
like you're being like thick on purpose here, like thick-headed about this.
Who's been thinking? What the fuck are you talking about?
See,
Hey,
you're not
come
drawing.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No.
I literally can't get my fucking point out if I'm getting talked over. What the fuck are you talking about?
No.
I literally can't get my point out because every time I say something, I'm getting cut off. I told you to shut the
Wait,
fuck up.
let him.
Okay,
I
pause.
wonder if he's gonna say this.
Make your point.
He can't say those words though.
No, I'm gonna fucking say. Every time I talk, I'm getting cut off. I'm just trying to tell you an opinion. That's all the fuck I'm doing. So
Oh yeah, I'm getting wrong.
I never once said for anybody to hold the game.
I'll take him down.
Never once that. What I said was, in my opinion, I
I might
believe
take this down too.
that they wouldn't do the vice versa. They would have them release at the exact same time. If a game they're making is set to release on Xbox and PC, that's what it's told.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Is they've done it both ways. They've ordered, for instance, that's like saying Master Chief Collection, right? Master Chief Collection is fairly recently released on PC. So you think they want the whole Master Chief Collection hostage on console because it's not ready for PC? It's this verse. It's a reverse of what you're saying. It's the same. You release the games when they're ready. If it's not ready for console, you don't release it. It's basic.
It's not a timed exclusive. It's ready here, and especially if we're gonna keep with the Flight Sim, because I have the last version of Flight Sim that was ever released on PC. If we're gonna keep with that, is the technology I've heard that is going into the game, the real-time ground scanning. You fly over Las Vegas, you get the real-time ground that is in Las Vegas, and it changes if they're building buildings. They need to On PC, you can do that, whatever satellite ping, boom, boom, it's there. Console, maybe it doesn't have the power that a PC does. I know Kev can probably agree with me on the specs, and now no legs Dallas, because you got PC. You can probably agree with me. Some of the specs might not meet with the consoles, so they need to get the game ready.
I can tell you for sure, it's definitely not all of that. It's just that they release stuff when it's
I'm
ready.
trying to protect you.
I know, but I'm just being frank because
I love you
I've
too
heard this.
much.
But
Sometimes
like,
you hear something over and over again, you kind of like, okay, no, that's not it. I mean, I just the
irks you.
narrative is what bothers me. The narrative of like, oh, why they didn't release it on console? Oh, why they didn't release it on PC? It's like,
Yeah. It's not a
look,
timed
it's
exclusive,
not
y'all. It's
ready.
just
I
it
understand
needs
that
when
though,
it's
because
ready,
like,
it's
look,
ready.
does that not make sense? And if it doesn't, tell me what does.
I mean, I would have rather that Anthem. I always make every conversation about Anthem. Shut up. Anthem took 2 months, 3 months, because I'm the only one that plays Anthem, and I'm the only one that covers it still. It took 2-3 months to get ready for PC instead of launching day and date. I mean, we can think Final Fantasy 15, Elder Scrolls Online. There's a whole bunch of games I can think of that I would rather have been delayed than come day and date. Red Dead Redemption 2 didn't come day and date. It came, a year and a half later on PC.
So they're gonna hold the console version hostage until PC ready? No.
Yeah,
you release
no.
the game.
I think it's not fair, yes, but I would rather a game be functional than broken on my chosen preferred platform.
Yeah,
It's fun when it's
I've
joked.
heard all this before, so it's like the narrative part is what I hate. Well, so
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Fame is he needs some time to cool down. So the
A little
boxes
bit.
might be weird, y'all. I'm not Fame. I'm Floor Hugger. Delilah, she looks way better than me, so
I'm
is.
still me. It looks like.
That's true. In Dallas, I don't know why certain boxes shift because Discord never used to do this. So who here in the podcast is going to be getting Flight Sim?
I am not.
Oh, I am.
I know.
Delilah, you gonna get it?
I know a buddy of mine who's
I have
gonna get it for sure.
I have a nice PC that could run it, so definitely, I'm probably gonna cop it. Yeah,
Here's
definitely.
the thing I was trying to say before Fame got very upset at me for whatever reason. The comparison he's trying to draw is outlandish. Like you don't compare Flight Simulator to Halo Infinite. Like yes, they're both video games, but that's about where the similarities end. Like Flight Simulator is it's in the name. This isn't flight game. This isn't arcade dogfight combat. It's flight simulator. Like this is for simulating actual flying in a real cockpit. The dude I know who's going to get this game has a home rig where he set it up with like rudder pedals and a control panel with switches and stuff on it. Yeah, like that's what this game is for. Like that's why honestly I don't even think like it would be fun to play it on console, because by having a controller as your peripheral, you're really limiting your ability to interact with a lot of that stuff.
I mean, in all fairness, I don't think it'd be fun to play it on anything.
It is, dude. It can be really cool, man. It's basically.
I'm getting it.
I've been in a flight sim that they use to like train commercial air pilots and stuff, like one of those little pods that's up on the stands and moves around as you fly it and stuff. This is basically as close as you can get to a home version of that without buying one of those somehow. And it really is that detailed and that in depth, and flying over the environments and stuff is really cool, especially if you like planes and flight.
The better example would have been
have the real time scanning.
Yeah. Like that's insane. The look of it is what blew me away the most, man. And my friend, he's like me, he builds his PCs every couple of years, and he basically had to completely redesign his PC from the ground up when he saw the specs for this game when it was coming out. And he had like a good high-end PC, and he was like, "Oh no, like if I want to really play this, like I'm gonna need to go back to the store and spend more money." So he rebuilt his stuff, and he's sitting there ready for it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Sorry, Delilah. Go ahead.
The better example would have been if instead of using Flight Sim as the example, it would have been Gears Tactics. Because that game, Gears Tactics, plays well on PC, and because controller support, all that stuff. So once it's ready, it's ready. That's all there is to it. So
I just want to know why. Not. I'll go ahead.
Oh no, you go, Demi, because you've been quiet, and I need to hear that voice.
Can
I just want to know,
can
like,
you drop a couple octaves for us? Can you get a little lower?
Yeah,
nah.
can you get lower,
Man,
boy?
I know you can.
But I just want to know, when did people start
Top
like
boy.
counting Flight Simulators like an exclusive
As
that
the
we have
game
to
to be
have?
upset about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're looking for things to complain about. Mr. Kima in chat even said it. Flight Simulator is not a game. I would honestly
Yeah.
there you have ground to stand on with that argument. It's not a game. It's a simulator.
It's not a game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting it because me and my dad are trying to go for our pilot certification, so we're trying to get flight time in without, because everything's locked down. We can't go out to the airport, so we're trying to get practice in before we go get our certification. That's why I'm getting it. And I know that's why probably a lot of people are getting it, is to get flight time practice in before they get certified. Sorry. I don't know where I am.
If Reggie was here, he would say you don't need that because you already fly.
Oh, he probably would. He'd make it a super chat too.
Nah, but
Interesting. Reggie's never super chatted.
You know what? You're right.
He's not here to defend himself. So there's the gaming world has been weird, especially this week, because there was a Stadia Connect show, and I didn't even know that the Stadia Connect thing was happening. Did anybody watch that?
it wasn't even announced.
It wasn't?
Not
Wait,
that
the
I've
who?
seen. The Stadia Connect show.
What
The
the hell is
Ouya
a
show.
Stadia?
It's that thing, bro.
The Pokemon
Failure
Stadium,
Ouya.
I think. Something.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
It's that thing, bro. It's that thing that you use as a doorstop.
Yo, honestly, the first thing I saw about Stadia Connect was a tweet that somebody had retweeted that popped up on my timeline as I'm scrolling through dog gifs, because I like dogs. Don't judge me. And it was like, so what did you guys think of Stadia Connect? And I was like, the what?
Stadia
What did I
Connect
think
to the
of this
recycle
thing I
bin.
never knew existed until I just saw this right now? It's like,
Mhm.
I don't know. Apparently not much, because I had no idea it was even a thing.
Apparently, they're getting some exclusive stuff from Harmonix, and Sekiro is now available on there. So
Runs at 2 FPS.
I had to look through a list because I looked it up when I saw it was going to be one of our topics today, so I can be like, okay, did I miss anything? And I scrolled through it and I was like, nah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like, none of this, the exclusives that they mentioned, none of them seemed like, ooh, I'm definitely going to get a Stadia to play this. And the other games were like, cool, I can play those on my console or PC if I want to play them.
I still want to play Guilt, but I couldn't see myself like
it's coming
buying
to
a
PC
Stadia
or console eventually.
Yeah, I that's the only
I
game
won't have a
I
choice.
want to play. That's the only game I want to play that's on Stadia.
Because everything else is on everything else.
Yeah, I mean, I got Sekiro. Shadows die twice, or frames drop twice too.
I know you probably can't talk about it, Delilah, but if you can, what's your thoughts on Stadia?
I tried Stadia once. I want to say last PAX. Was when I was able to get a hands-on time with it. I did catch bits and pieces of this show, and so the biggest thing that stood out for me in regards to Stadia is that they're trying to focus on exclusive content. There's a game that released fairly recently on console. I can't, for some reason it's escaping me right now, but Google, they acquired a game developer. I think it's called Savage of the Broken Planet or something like that, or something like
I
that.
think you're right about that, yeah.
But so they're trying to focus on exclusive content, and so the only thing that was, in this particular show, they mentioned two titles that stood out to me, and that was Outcasters and Orcs Must Die 3, which are, exclusive, so to speak. So I'll definitely check those out. Quote unquote, yeah. So I'll check those out. That's pretty much it. Outside of that, it was just things we've already heard before. I did find that the Bummerman one was weird because it's gonna be on Stadia. Yeah, it's gonna be on Stadia first. So that was kind of, that felt weird to me, but I mean, Yeah, I mean,
That's a multiplayer title, right?
yeah, it's a multiplayer. So it's like a battle royale type thing, which is strange.
Hey,
but-
salute
Maybe
to salute to the 6 people.
maybe Stadia is going to be like the place where games go to die, like the love and hip hop of video games. Maybe that's like the
Oh,
thing
God.
that's happening.
I like that analogy. That's nice.
Which is unfortunate because the game Demi just brought up is a great game. It's just on Stadia.
Will Mendes
Fuck
get his cake too?
Just oh snap! Just like
No.
just you mentioning Bomberman makes me think about that though.
Yeah, but that was the only thing. It was weird. I mean, yeah, that's all I say.
I think we know if games want to go to die, they got to hop on that Atari console.
Whew.
Will Sekiro be on that Atari console?
Coming
Sekiro,
fall
your phone
2023.
has more power than that console does. Like, no joke, no lie, not trying to be funky. I saw the specs. Your phone has more power than that console does.
Did they announce
that can't even run.
Okay.
No, go love. What?
I was like, did
No,
they
no.
announce any details regarding the Atari console, like as far as price, as far as like,
It's $400 for the VCS, which is the
Whoa.
top. Yes. Even the top model doesn't have as much power as the PlayStation 3.
So it's a toaster, basically.
I was just about to say
it's a decorative box that looks like the 2600 but does nothing. It runs a Linux system, not even a custom Linux system, so there's
VCR.
no back-end support. It can be hacked if you're playing on it, and the game that they showed on it is a game that the developer didn't even know was supposed to be on the system, so the developer's looking at suing Atari for putting their game on the system.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So
Without them knowing.
so no to Sekiro.
So
you want to
it's
run
the
it like
Soldier game.
1 FPS?
This sounds like
The Soldier console can run it better.
It's the Soldier game.
This sounds like the brainchild of a trust fund kid who like their parents were just like, here's a ton of money, son, like go off and be successful or something, whatever, we don't really care, you're set for life either way. And he's like, I've got it.
That is
Atari console.
He's like the video game industry makes money.
but see,
I don't know what Atari's doing.
Oh man.
They're lost. They've been lost for a while though.
Well, see, I thought
But
the Atari console was like it was a backed project on like Indiegogo.
It was a backed project, and then it got delayed, and then delayed again, and then what they showed actually on the first Kickstarter back or Indiegogo, whatever it was an empty box that had no specs. So people were pre-ordering this 400. It wasn't $400 at the time because they only offered one console. They were pre-ordering it with no specs. There was no specs available. They hadn't built the console. As much as I gripe to say this, Review Tech USA has a great video on what this console is and why you shouldn't buy it, because I don't think if you encourage Atari with this console, they're just going to keep making ripoffs like this. This isn't like a little Game Gear that I don't know what they're making with that, and this isn't like a micro console classic that we've seen from Nintendo. This is a blatant ripoff. This is
So
going
I'm
to
just
be.
gonna say, I'm sorry. I just want to say
Nani?
I googled successful Indiegogo campaigns, and one of them is called Comment. So I think that says it all.
Mm-hmm. Just avoid this.
And
just
the rest
have
I never heard of,
fun.
including Comment.
Save your $400 and buy one of the new consoles or upgrade your computer. You could do so much more with $400 than give it to Atari. And if they come back to bite me in the arse for this, then they do. But I'm not here to have you guys be scammed out of money for a low-end 90s Nokia phone that doesn't do half the things you want.
But can it run Crisis?
No, that box will light on fire if you try to run Crisis. Although, judging by the screenshots of the remaster, it's ugly. So maybe the new Crisis.
I remember when that was the bar, man. When Crisis was like melting NASA computers.
And now it's like Witcher, Cyberpunk.
Now it's like I got Crisis on mobile.
Yeah, I got it on my phone. You got games on your phone?
Got
Delilah, you got games on your phone?
Okay, I have some games. I don't really game on my phone like that though. XCloud.
Oh.
XCloud, I'm gonna get on my phone. But,
Let's see.
Promotion queen right here.
We
all
got
that.
Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. We got Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. What else is a good phone game that I don't play but have downloaded for no reason?
You got Escape,
Actually, hey,
Super
almost
Mario
wanna hear-
Run.
Super Mario Run.
The Mario Kart game.
Let's see, I've got
Sonic Run.
I got Pokemon Go. I got Clash of Clans, Bleach Brave Souls,
Ooh.
MLB 9 Innings 20, Marvel Contest of Champions, Fire Emblem Heroes, and this random game called Arc Knights that I played for like 3 days.
I forgot about Fire Emblem Heroes. I completely forgot about it. Truth be told, I never played a game in a Fire Emblem franchise, but I hear people love it.
Most people haven't played it because of the permadeath in some of the games. Anyway, it is the end of the show, y'all. We've had Delilah here with us. What?
Well, one thing. I feel like we didn't mention this at all, and this was like the thing I heard the most about from the whole Ubisoft Forward thing was Watchdog Legions.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Way
you
too much of
right.
that.
Here's my thing. I just wanted to bring this to y'all really quick because I've never played a Watch Dogs game and I didn't watch Ubisoft Forward at all. But from seeing all the hype from it, there's one thing I'm very curious and concerned about. There's a lot of positive hype I saw for Legion, but I feel like that was the same with every Watch Dogs game when it's like first introduced or revealed, and then once it actually comes out, it's terrible and everybody hates it.
No,
So
a lot
I'm
of
worried.
They're not really
Like-
terrible.
Okay.
a lot of YouTubers got 20 minutes of gameplay up.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of them got hands on, and a lot of them like
Watch
it so
Dogs
far.
is an interesting series.
I don't think that Watch Dogs is a terrible series. I think that when the games come out, they can be like when we see the footage, they can be a little overhyped. And because of that, when they release, it's a little underwhelming. But the games themselves are not bad games.
Okay. All right. I was just concerned because like I was seeing all the hype and I was like, man, I feel like I've watched y'all go through this before. Are you gonna let them hurt you again?
Crowcat has a great video on like the downgrades. I think that's why Watch Dogs got hit so hard because of the downgrades. But you got to be prepared to do a lot of busy work. It's not a bad game, but it's a lot of busy work to do in the games. I will say that it's a lot of Assassin's Creed kind of climbing up towers, disable this tower, clear out this area, find this guy. I don't know what Legions will be like because it's set in our not so distant future. I don't know what it's going to be like, but at least Watch Dogs 1 was it was empty once you peeled away what made it Watch Dogs. There wasn't too much to do, but there's a lot of games that are like that.
But it was original.
At the time, well, it was
for me.
It was a modern day Assassin's Creed. That's exactly what Watch Dogs 1 was.
For me, it was
like,
what I needed
really
because Assassin's Creed was falling off, and I felt some type of way about the modern day story, and I needed Watch Dogs at that moment. So
that was the Black Flag era that people were like, "Please stop making these games."
I was feeling Watch Dogs. It had its issues, but I messed with it. And I'm looking in the chat, and L Boogie's like, the first one was good, the second one had too many fetch quests, and the story didn't hit. It started out so good. Watch Dogs 2 started out so good, and then for whatever reason, it just
2 was so mid. 2 was so mid. Oh my god.
Yep. Yeah, I really missed the mark there.
That said, I still liked it.
I was gonna say, as far as Legion though, I like the John Wick moment, like the combat difference between like that's what I was concerned about because you can recruit any character, right? So I was really concerned about is the combat gonna feel different between these characters, and so seeing one with like a basic combat system and another person doing like all John Wick on enemies and stuff was kind of dope. So I'm for it. I want to see more from that game before I commit though.
Yeah, they showed a lot of that game though.
I made a commitment in 2020 to play something before I judge it. So even if I don't like, I mean, I made that mistake with Anthem, but I'll keep making it. Why not?
Here's the thing: I won't buy it day one, but Uplay is always having their sales on the gold stuff, so I will wait till it's on sale because I find that's where I enjoy the games the most.
Not gonna lie, I might buy it day one. I might.
I can't justify spending $100+ dollars on special editions and stuff anymore, unless it's a
perma
physical
does.
edition.
The
I know, we
permadeath
gonna
system
see.
has me interested, honestly.
Yeah. But that,
And I think they
that-
said you get like one chance, like people they'll either get arrested or badly injured.
killed.
Yeah.
Also,
Before they
Which is
actually die.
interesting.
before we go,
Mm.
there's one game that I wanted to see at Ubisoft Forward that I just got some news on not too long ago that's being redone,
Oh.
and that is Skull and Bones.
Oh.
They went from PvP battles to following in a Sea of Thieves method. So I want to see how they're going to flesh that out even.
We did see, yeah.
Has anyone heard
Demi did write that on Level 1 Gaming.
I did.
Has anyone
did.
heard anything about Beyond Good and Evil 2?
No.
Oh
we
my
don't talk
goodness,
about
we
that
waiting
game.
on that.
Nope.
Oh, I tried to get that out of my head because I actually really want that
Sorry.
game to be good.
Same.
You know what? We got another show coming up, and it's been 2 years. We'll see something, maybe like an update or something. Because what is it? The Monkey Club, whatever you can join for the updates. It's been popping lately, so I think we'll see something soon.
I'm way
You
too
gotta
black
know.
to join
Did they
anything
announce
called the
another
Monkey
show?
Club.
Did they
Yeah,
announce
there's
another
2
show?
shows.
Okay.
It's
okay.
no date yet, but it's gonna be this year.
Okay,
So I don't know.
maybe this was like coming soon show, and then they got a future show, like a show for stuff that's coming out in the future.
I
I
hope
have no idea
so.
because there's so many games that they didn't like. The Anno series, I know, like one person probably is watching plays that. They didn't talk about that at all, and the 1800 one just released, so I think we'll see some more in that second show. But they had an hour, which is they would get an hour and a half in E3, and they showed really nothing besides a phone game with Sam Fisher.
Hey, Splinter Cell is dead. I gotta say it. Splinter Cell is dead.
Put it in the same box with SOCOM, man.
Yeah, it's not coming
Scalebound.
back. It's not. Oh, oof.
Mm-mm.
No, too soon. Too soon.
When will it not be too soon
Way
for
too
that?
It hurts.
20 years from now, we'll still be like too soon.
That game.
Anyway.
Sam is over with. It's clear Ubisoft doesn't want anything to do with this guy anymore. He's retired. He's on the phone.
Thank you all for hanging out with us, rocking with us, supporting Level 1 Gaming. There's some things going on with the site. We're changing some things around to hopefully be better optimized for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into these outros and your
Wait,
suggestions
we didn't do
for
our
this
3?
week.
Oh, I was gonna say we didn't do our suggestions. See?
Yeah, you can
See?
chill.
That's the best part of the show.
Let's get into our suggestions and outros. Citizen, what you got this week for people?
Game wise, nothing really new from me. I'm still working through Wolf Among Us. Played through episodes 2 and 3 on stream last night. Was a lot of fun. Other than that, I'm still doing my usual Overwatch, Valorant rotation. And I think I said it last week. I did start Yakuza 0 last Sunday, which I'm enjoying. My expectations were a little bit different. I didn't expect it to be as cutscene heavy as it ended up being. So like I found myself a little bit frustrated because like I got hungry and I ordered food and then like my food arrived and I was like
it's a drama.
Let me get to a stopping point. Like where's my pause? Where's my save? Like I want to go eat. My food's getting cold. And it was like, you finished chapter 1, create a save file. It's like, cool, here we go. And then into a cutscene, and then right into another cutscene, and then right into it. I was like, no, I just. So
very
that drove
story
me a little
heavy.
nuts. But I am enjoying the story itself. And the combat's simple but fun as well. So if you haven't played that, I would give that a go. And then as far as something to watch, I'm a 90s, early 2000s anime art style fan. Like I love the art style and of pretty much every anime back in that time period. And I stumbled across one I think it's on Crunchyroll, and it's on, or both seasons are on Crunchyroll, and Amazon Prime has one of the seasons called Eat Man. And I'm not going to say it was really good, It was pretty mediocre, but the art style like just kept me interested, and it's only 12 episodes long, so it was something to kill time with when I'm trying to go to bed at night. So if you're looking for a little something to doze off to, Eat Man is my recommendation there.
Sounds like nope. Don't even
I
finish
know,
that
I know
thought,
what you're gonna
Carter.
say. No, the dude, he can like
No.
he eats like components of things. Like he's always munching on a bolt or something like that, and then he can form. Like if he eats an axe, he can later reform the axe in his hand.
Oh.
But it just turns into every episode. It's like, well, suspense, 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 because I'm eating, and then I'm eating, and I'll just make a really big gun in one shot, whatever the problem is, and then we move on to the next episode.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
Dallas, what you got for us this week?
Let me see. I haven't been watching much. I only really been watching one show, and it's like an episode every other day. But if I have to recommend something that I like, then go and watch Code Geass because it's fire.
Mm.
Playing. Let me see. I am streaming now. Let me go ahead and plug that. Let me let y'all know. I did my very first game stream a couple days ago, and I'm digging it. And I started Undertale, and it is actually better than people told me it was.
Are you doing the friendship playthrough or the murder everything playthrough?
I started trying to do the friendship playthrough, then the frogs pissed me off. So like so
Yeah.
at this point, it's like whichever way the wind blows it. That I started the Outer Worlds, which is pretty dope. I've been basically blazing through Game Pass because I have a PC now, so I'm too good for y'all.
No legs.
So I've been blazing through everything, and the crazy part is the thing I've been enjoying the most, and that I'm actually going to recommend. Wait for it. Is actually Power Rangers Battle for the Grid because A, I like fighting games, and B, I like Power Rangers, and C, it's telling
Nani?
the comic book story, the story from the Boom Comics run, Shatter Grid, and I dig that story. It's the most mature Power Ranger story, and it's actually pretty fire. So I dig that. And that's
Dallas, our resident
much
nerd.
all I got.
Demiculus testiculus, what you got for us?
Wow, what a name!
I like that name.
What a name!
The god himself, Democles. What do you have?
Glicked up and glicked out.
Know what I'm talking about?
The Glizzies is off on the table somewhere. But game wise, I have this puzzle game that's going to make you think. It's called Superliminal. It just released on console not too long ago. It's available on PC. It's Portal on steroids. If you've ever needed to think outside the box, this would be now, because the game literally makes you think like, oh, if you open this box, ain't nothing's gonna happen. But instead, the box gets like 8 times bigger, and that's your exit out through the door inside the box. So it's pretty fun. Make me think. The game pisses me off, but I love it because puzzles are like my bane. Puzzles and stealth game, but we get through it. For anime, it's this anime on Netflix called Levius. Yo, it's a steampunk boxing, and it's so fire. And the fights are like life or death situations. Because one fight he had with a dirty boxer, and he had to really use his arsenal of skills to win. And it's so good. It's a nice blazing 12, 13 episodes. You can knock it out. Next season is supposed to arrive this year. Highly recommend. If you're into Megalobox, need something outside of King and Ashura and Baki and stuff like that, Levius is the way to go. And for movie recommendations, this is also on Netflix and just hit. Recommend The Old Guard. Really good.
Yeah, that was one of mine actually. The Old Guard.
See? Twinsies.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna choke you out later, boy.
Also, I just watched.
Fane, you got anything? I don't know if he's still here. Delilah, what you got for us?
Let's see. This one was when you posed the question to me before the show started. I'm like, yo, I didn't have anything prepared, but definitely Ogre was one I would recommend. And also A Plague Tale: Innocence, because you all mentioned Asobo, so it kind of is that one always sticks forward to mind for me. And it's a great game, so definitely check that out if you like a good story and pacing and stuff like that. Um, that's pretty much all I got, man. I was not ready. So
At least I didn't spring it on you, 5 minutes ago.
yeah, it's true. That's true.
For my recommendations this week for movies, I've talked about this before. I would say go watch some Kung Fu Hustle. It's cheesy comedy with kung fu stuff. It's just really good.
This is the third week in a row
Anime.
you're recommending Kung Fu Hustle. Is that? I feel like this is a
No,
recurring theme.
this
now.
is
a good
not
movie,
because
though.
the last 2 weeks
It is
has
a good
been
movie.
Memoirs of the Geisha.
Great movie.
So
I feel like
great
I heard
movie,
Kung
right?
Fu Hustle.
So anime, I would recommend Neon Genesis Evangelion, a classic if you guys like anime. It's very heavily religious, and I don't know how people don't see it's religious, but it's not religious in what you're thinking. It's just a good game. There's mechs and beautiful things and beautiful art and beautiful 90s just anime classic stuff. And for games, you know what? Because I've been playing them, go play the Tomb Raider games, the reboot games.
Oh,
Go play
yeah.
the old ones if you want, but the reboot, the Tomb Raider 2013, Rise of Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Go play them. They're great games. Everybody's info is on screen. I will be streaming after this. We are all here. We're thankful for Delilah for just, coming. Maybe she'll come back.
For surviving.
I don't know. Because we're a lot. And thank you guys for supporting Level 1 Gaming. We're going through some restructure and stuff. Thank you for being awesome. If you want to find the hottest news articles and, best opinions and just weird takes, go to level1gaming.com. Fame, you can end the show. Bye, guys.
Mostly weird takes, y'all.